Hello everybody and welcome to episode 48 of the Together We Grow podcast. My name is Paul.
And I'm Tamar.
And this is the Home Fragrance Academy, and this is where we teach home fragrance business owners how to start, grow and scale their business based on our experience of doing the exact same thing with our business. It was called Cozy Aromas. We had it for 6 years. We grew it from our kitchen.
Yep, our teeny tiny little kitchen.
To a £7.5 million company. We sold that in 2024, and now we help people just like you to help grow your business through all of the tactics, all of the strategies, basically everything we like to share, don't we, via courses, training, podcasts, online content, all that good stuff.
Yeah, we like to collect all of our knowledge and all of our stories as well, because we have a lot of stories obviously over the years that we like to collect and sort of give it to you so you can learn from it.
That's exactly right. So yeah, this is episode 48. And it's 48. We've rapidly gone to that, haven't we?
We have, yeah. It felt like a long time in between some episodes, of course, but we're here, we're cracking on, and we are making sure we bring you an episode every week. That's the plan.
Yeah. And today we're going to be talking about pricing, and specifically the day that we actually increased our pricing at Cozy Aromas. Mm-hmm. And we're going to cover the things that we spoke about, the reason why we had to increase pricing, how we went about doing it, and what happened when the customers found out about it.
Yep, it's important to talk about these things, isn't it?
So let's get on with it. Okay, yeah, so the year was 2019. It was pretty early. Actually, in 2019, I remember quite well. We weren't even a year old, basically, and we were kind of, I think, when we were pricing our products originally, we were just like doing what felt right.
I think so, yeah. It felt right at the beginning almost like we were guessing everything, really, didn't it, to a certain degree? Yeah. Because even though you've obviously got a background in marketing, you didn't actually know anything about the products themselves to start with, did you?
Not these products, no. And we looked at some of the competitors, obviously, and saw what they were pricing. Obviously, you know, because I'm quite business orientated anyway, I worked out all of our cost of goods and duplicated it a couple of times, and that was kind of it, really, wasn't it? There wasn't much more to it than that. And then when we launched our 100-gram wax mounts, 100-gram wax mounts, we had the price of £5, didn't we?
We did, yeah. And we thought at the time, obviously, that was a good price. It was a solid price, and, you know, we kind of thought we'd just see how it goes, really.
Well, actually, I remember £5 for a wax mount back in 2018, when we sort of first started doing it, was quite expensive.
Yeah, we were on the higher end, I suppose.
Well, it was also because nobody else were doing like 100-gram wax mounts. They were all around the 50-gram mark, weren't they? So
yeah, that was kind of our niche at the time, wasn't it? It was like, they were big round pots, weren't they? And people would either scoop them out or like cut segments with a knife or something like that. And that is what kind of set us apart, having such big, large wax mounts at the time, because like you say, they weren't around, really.
That's it.
They had a lot of snap bars and like little shapes in glassine bags a lot of the time, or like you say, 50-gram pots, but nothing really bigger than that was really around.
No, and you're right, that was our niche. And that's one of the reasons why we became quite popular early on, because we were the ones with the massive wax mounts.
Yeah.
But yeah, £5, that was how much we were charging for them, and we were doing okay. Mm-hmm. We were growing, obviously. We were paying ourselves like the minimum we could pay ourselves. Yeah. Business was doing all right. But then obviously we were very fast approaching, and then obviously went over the VAT threshold. Mm-hmm. So straight away, that's like a 20% hit.
Yeah, to everything that you've got coming in, 20% of that has to then go to the government, doesn't it?
Well, the maths is slightly different.
Well, yeah.
If it's something plus VAT, it's 20%. But if you've got an item and you're taking the VAT amount off it, I think it's about 16.8%, something like that. But anyway, it was a chunk of money. And, you know, when people were ordering 6, 7, 8, 9, or maybe 5 or 6 of these at a time, then of course that slowly starts to add up. And we were investing more into Facebook ads. We were getting bigger. We knew we needed team members soon. We wanted to rebrand our products and better packaging, and all of that requires
capital.
Yeah, and profit in the business. And of course, as you grow, you get more expenses. You start having trade accounts with people. We were being invoiced by people, so we'd buy wax in and then we'd get invoiced for it instead of just buying it all up front. So you need cash flow for that, and it all revolved around the price of our products. It got to a point, didn't it, where we were like, wow, we know we need to increase this. But that was a really tough moment.
That was really scary because you're always worried that if you put your prices up, that your customers are just going to go somewhere else. That's what everybody worries about, because that's true, isn't it? You are going to worry that you're going to lose your customers if you up your prices. But it's just the way you handle it that makes a difference, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And I know that we put it off for a long time, longer than we should have done. So that's a lesson to you guys listening to this. Don't put it off for too long, basically.
No.
Because we did put it off for a lot longer than what we should have done. And basically what we were going to do is we were going to go from £5 to £5.99. So that is a 20% increase.
Yeah.
Which is quite a steep increase for anything that goes up in price, isn't it? It's not very often a 20% increase. So we were like, oh my word, what's happening here? We were then really starting to make ground. It was, like I said, it was just us in the business. We were a proper business, weren't we?
Yeah.
So this had to work. We couldn't afford to lose our customers.
And we were scared that we would lose our customers.
We had our Facebook group was starting to really pop off at that point, and we were getting some good engagement.
Yeah.
And all of that. So we knew that some people would be okay about it. Obviously, a lot of people are price driven, so it wouldn't be okay. But yeah, so that was kind of the reason why we did it. And the fear was unreal. It was a proper gut-wrenching feeling. For me anyway, I was like so nervous about having to do it.
Yeah, I was the same. You know that you have no choice to do it, otherwise you're not going to grow, you're not going to sort of be able to expand the business and move to where we wanted to do, what we wanted to do. And we'd just be plateaued there otherwise, wouldn't we? Because we wouldn't have the capital and the profit to be able to grow. Yeah. But it was still scary actually clicking the button and raising the prices and talking to the customers and explaining it.
It really was. So the way we handled it was it was a Saturday morning that we actually increased the pricing. So it was during the week before that we told people, I think it was the Monday, because the Saturday before that we probably had something going on.
Yeah.
So obviously we wanted to try and capitalise on that. And then it was the Monday, I think we put a post in the Facebook group and of course sent an email to everyone basically saying, because VAT, cost increases, blah, 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 all of that kind of stuff, we're going to have to put our prices up. We're really sorry. We don't want to do it, but the prices have got to go up. Mm-hmm. You love our products. We love making these products. For us to continue and for us to continue bringing you these products that you love, we have to increase our pricing.
Yeah.
And then we told them it was going to happen on the Saturday, didn't we? Mm-hmm. So we were like, right, you've got this week to stock up at the current price level.
Yeah, I think that obviously that helped, being like open and honest with customers and giving them a deadline as well, saying that we're going to do it on this date, meant that the people that were like cost saving and conscious of their money, they would be able to stock up in advance then, and it meant that they felt included and they felt like they were getting an exclusive because they were in our Facebook group as well.
Yeah.
It gave them that exclusivity to be able to top up, didn't it?
Yeah. And when you do something like that, the good news is that a lot of your top customers will stock up on their favourites to get them at the discounted rate. Well, or get them at the rate before the price increases. So that was a very, very good sales week.
It was, yeah. And like I said, for the customer loyalty, that went a really long way, didn't it?
Yeah, they like the advance notice, don't they? And at this point, we had our Facebook group and we were engaging as Paul and Tamar, not as Cozy Roamers. And people were starting to know us. We'd put like little behind the scenes pictures up and videos of us in the warehouse with Willow making products, packing orders, all of that. And that's a key thing, if you have to, and I say this all the time to people, is you need to start building that community around your products. This type of industry, this industry and these products, what we've seen is it's so community orientated. It
is, yeah. And you don't have to sort of go crazy and do loads and loads and loads of editing or anything like that. Literally the raw photos and little clips. Just be a selfie video of yourself saying, this week I've restocked on these candles and you can see behind me all this mess I've got to clean up. Yeah. How has your week been?
Yeah, and it's really important to do that, to build up your engagement within the groups, within your group. Because then when you do have an announcement like this, you'll get more responses and people will understand, and they won't mind as much because they kind of know you anyway.
Yeah, because they've already bought into you as a person and into you as a brand as well, haven't they?
Yeah. So the Saturday arrived when we had to increase our prices. So that was my first job, is actually increase the prices on the website, update all of the bundle offers and all this kind of stuff. Once I'd done that and tested it all, we sent out our email and did our posts in the group. Now, most people were like, yeah, fine, you told us last week, brilliant, great. We did have a few, not many actually, a few that were unhappy. And they said, oh, I just can't afford this anymore. I can't believe the price has gone up, blah, blah, blah. I think we were actually called greedy a couple of times as well.
Yeah.
But not too many people. So yes, we did lose a few customers, and I'm not going to lie and say that you won't, because you will, because people are price driven, right? And the people that aren't necessarily as invested into your brand as others, who don't really care about the engagement, the community and stuff. And most people won't, by the way. This is just, your big customer base. We had a customer base of like over 100,000 people. Yeah. Only 10,000 of those were in our Facebook group.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that don't really care about all of the engagement, and you haven't built that relationship with them. So it's a bit more of a black and white. Oh, it's a bit too expensive now. I won't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that did happen a few times. We also had a couple of people say, well, I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner.
Yeah.
We were lucky to get them for such great value before. Yeah. And they're still good value, things
so
like
it's
that.
Like swings and roundabouts, isn't it? You get all different types of customers, don't you? And it's making sure that you nurture all of them as much as you possibly can, to try and hopefully keep as many of them as possible.
And what I noticed over the following couple of weeks was that, yes, the customers that left us, which weren't many, but at the time, but the customers that left us, we didn't get their orders for a few weeks, of course. Other people were just placing their orders as normal. Yeah. So from our point of view, actually, it was business as normal, because revenue kind of stayed the same, but we were getting a few less orders because the increased average order value because of the pricing outweighed the people that we'd lost.
Yeah, so that was obviously a big sigh of relief there, wasn't it? That we hadn't done a massive dip or anything.
So we'd actually got more orders. We'd got the same revenue from less orders, which gave us more time to do other stuff.
Yeah, we freed up time, and also it meant less resources we needed as well, didn't it? Like the physical products and things like that.
Yeah, and that worked really well. And we just carried on like that, didn't we? That gave us more profit to invest back into ads and grow.
Yeah.
And that's when we started to really push our no-brainer offer. And it was at that point when we really started to grow, because we had the profit in the business to do that.
Yeah, and obviously it sounds, I know 20% increase for the customer is a big amount, but obviously like 99p from the business side of things, it doesn't sound like a lot at all, does it? But that really did give us a bit of breathing room, didn't it?
Well, when you're selling 5,000 wax melts a month, it's an extra £5,000 on top of, so it's a lot. It adds up a lot over time. So yeah, if you're listening to this now and you're getting some orders coming through your business, but you're just not really feeling like it's very profitable, and you're not able to extract money for yourself, or you're not able to reinvest properly into ads and marketing, then you really do need to look at your pricing, because that's the only thing that's going to drive. You could do as much posting as you want. You could get 100 orders a day, but if your pricing isn't right, you're not going to be able to grow. All you're going to be is very, very busy,
And no reason at all.
Exactly.
No profit, no money.
That's right. Now, we put together a little pricing kit, very, very straightforward. It's a training video from me, just explaining how it all works and the proper pricing strategies you should do for retail and for wholesale. It also includes a document in there as well, which explains it all as for you to print out and scribble over, and it's got some notes and things in there as well, which is useful. But the most valuable thing is actually the pricing calculator. And I've put this together based on exactly what we did at Cozy Aromas, and it's got fields for all of your ingredients, your time, everything. You type in all of your raw material costs, and then it will tell you how much you should charge for wholesale and how much you should charge on your website for retail. It's very useful, actually. Customers, art students are really finding that helpful, aren't they?
They are, yeah, because a lot of the time people forget, they do the raw ingredients and then they'll forget like the other little things like the packaging and their time, which is really, really important to make sure you get into your pricing properly from the beginning.
Yeah, it is. And the good news is this pricing kit is only £5 because we want as many people to try it as possible. So there's going to be a link just below this video for that if you're watching on YouTube or listening through our website. If you're listening to this on Apple or Spotify, then go to homefragrance.academy. There's a button there which takes you to our courses, and on there you'll see the candle pricing kit, and it's only £5.
Yeah, make sure you grab it. So even if you are an established business already, it's important you can use this for all of your products, so you can just review your prices as well.
Yeah, that's it. So this was only a very short episode because we got straight to the point really, and we wanted to just talk about this pricing. We know a lot. It's quite of a key topic that we're talking about with a lot of people, aren't we? And it's something that people need to get right. So we thought we'd record a quick podcast to talk about it.
It's one of those foundations of the business, isn't it? Making sure that you get that right as quickly as possible to set your foundation right. If you don't have the money coming in and your profit and your margins there, you're not going to be able to grow and hit the goals that you want to hit.
Precisely. So there we go, guys. Thank you very much indeed for listening to episode 48 of the Together We Grow podcast.
If you liked this episode, don't forget to leave us a 5-star review if you're on Apple or Spotify, and to leave us a comment below if you're on YouTube as well.
I will speak to you in next week's episode.
See you soon, guys.